see a song listed after the talk, but usually they have us play one during the offering. It's just not listed on there.
What is mine to give? What is mine to do? All I want is to share myself with you. So I stand here asking, what can I do? What is mine to give? I give it to you. What is mine to give? What is mine to do? All I want is to share myself with you. So I stand here asking, what can I do? What is mine to give? I give it to you. What is mine to give? What is mine to do? All I want is to share myself with you. So I stand here asking, what can I do? What is mine to give? I give it to you. What is mine to give? I give it to you. What is mine to give? I give it to you.
Good morning. Welcome to Centers for Spiritual Living in Rogue Valley. I am Rev Michelle Ariano, and I'm a minister here, and I want to welcome you on this beautiful day. Thank you to Anton and Laura for their beautiful music this morning. And we have our wonderful practitioner here, Wendy Wellborn, who will be doing a reading and an invocation. And we have another amazing practitioner, Frank Young, who's holding high watch for us today. And of course, our amazing crew here that makes this happen on every Sunday. Centers for Spiritual Living is a welcoming community. We embrace all philosophies and all religions, diverse, inclusive, and no matter where you are on your path, you're welcome here. So thank you for being with us this morning. The talk title today is Sharing Our Thankfulness. I'd like to turn it back over to our musicians. Thank you.
A song by Paramahansa Yogananda. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Wilt thou come, just for once come to me? Wilt thou come, just for once come to me. Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Night and day, night and day, I look for thee, night and day. Night and day, night and day, I look for thee, night and day. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Wilt thou come, wilt thou come, just for once come to me. Wilt thou come, wilt thou come, just for once come to me. Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Night and day, night and day, I look for thee, night and day. Night and day, night and day, I look for thee, night and day. Night and day, night and day, I look for thee, night and day. Night and day, night and day, I look for thee, night and day. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee.
I'd like to invite you to pray with me. So if you would close your eyes and take one of those long, slow, deep breaths like you're sinking into your bed at night, and allow your body to fully relax. And know that in that heart space that we are relaxing into is God. That we are surrounded and blanketed by that pure, unconditional love of the Mother, Father, Spirit, Source, Allah. Whatever you call it, it is around us and through us and for us. We are one with this, and we are one with each other. So as I open my heart, I know that I am reaching out to you, to all of you, and we are all filling with that unconditional love. I speak my word of blessing this morning for this service, that it touches you in the places that you need to be touched, and it holds you in love and safety. I speak my word of blessing to this crew, to Reverend Michelle, that everything goes smoothly and knowing that it is already done. I release this prayer with gratitude, and so it is. My reading today is on the theme of the month, gratitude, from Thomas Merton. Thomas Merton, if you are unaware, is a Trappist monk, and he is considered one of the great spiritual teachers of last century. And this is from his book, Thoughts in Solitude. Gratitude, though, is more than a mental exercise, more than a formula of words. We cannot be satisfied to make a mental note of things which God has done for us, and then perfunctorily thank God for favors received. To be grateful is to recognize the love of God in everything God has given us. And God has given us everything. Every breath we draw is a gift of God's love. Every moment of existence is a grace, for it brings with it immense graces from God. Gratitude, therefore, takes nothing for granted, is never unresponsive, is constantly awakening to new wonder and to praise of the goodness of God. For the grateful person knows that God is good, not by hearsay, but by experience, and that is what makes all the difference. Thank you. And in the Hebrew, Toda Rabah. Thank you very much.
We're going to chant and sing a Sanskrit blessing mantra. Loka, in the world, samasta, in every direction, sukhino, full of happiness, bhavantu, let it be.
Sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta 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 Sukhino bhavantu.
Just beautiful. Anton Miserek and Laura Berryhill, and also sending out a big happy birthday to Anton. This is a special birthday for him, and he and Laura are special to CSL and sharing their beautiful talents, their souls, and their music with us. So happy, happy birthday to you. Today my talk is on sharing our thankfulness, and as I was thinking about the talk title and thinking about feeling thankful, one of the big joys in my life is sharing that with others. And the quote that I chose that kind of arched over the talk is, feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. And that's from William Arthur Ward. And I think that describes it really, really well. This is a month that a lot of us think about thankfulness, and we spend time with family, and we celebrate being together and feeling thankful, you know. And so this, for me, doing a talk during this time is a treat. Gratitude for me is also a spiritual practice, because gratitude and thankfulness is something that is an area for us to focus on. If we don't focus on it, it's harder for us to see it. And when we focus on it, we are blessed by it. It's like that energetic of being able to see something enough, and then when we see it, it starts becoming more and more apparent in our lives. And so that's all to say that there still is a lot going on in this world right now, and sometimes it's not easy to feel thankful. And there's still political unrest, and there's still division, there's still a pandemic happening. And it can be a lot. It can be a lot for a lot of us. And really what I have to say about that is I don't believe gratitude is about that spiritual bypassing and just thinking positive and everything is going to be positive. I think it's about feeling it all and allowing it all in our hearts and allowing it to move through us. And that brings me to one of my favorite quotes, is by Pema Chodron. And the quote is, "We are the sky and everything else is weather." And we are the sky. We are the sky. And a quote from Rumi is, "What hurts you blesses you," from Rumi. And sometimes as our heart is feeling so much, it cracks our heart open, and we can even love at a greater way. So there's also a lot of good happening in the world, and we don't always get a chance to hear about it. There's amazing people doing amazing things in this world, incredible acts of kindness, and people stepping up to support each other, and beauty and simplicity in the beauty of what's happening in the world. A lot of times when we move through challenging times, it wakes us up to a greater aspect of ourselves. It wakes us up to a deeper place in our souls. It's that rub that shines our souls that wakes us up. And I have a beautiful poem that I'm going to read to you that talks about the simplicity of gratitude, from Mary Oliver. It's The Wild Geese. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of all things. What I love so much about this poem is that there's a nature of our being. And as we open our hearts and we allow that nature in, we allow ourselves to flow, we allow ourselves to be in the present moment, we see the blessings. There is a place. We are a family. We are connected. We're interconnected to everything in this life. And so that brings me to the class that just ended, is our practical mysticism class. And so it was a 10-week class. And in that class, one of the students, for her final project, picked Mary Oliver as her mystic. And I just love the synchronicity of things, because that, I was thinking about her and the beauty of how she writes about the simplicity of nature and the beauty in nature, and giving gratitude for it and thankfulness. And it weaved into, as I was putting my talk together, and how perfect this poem was for the talk. I've got to say, the students in the practical mysticism class blew me away. I was pretty emotional on the last class. It was Wednesday of last week, and they went deep and wide and looked at themselves in a powerful way, in clearing out old debris and forgiving and opening their hearts and opening their souls, and like a hero's journey. And they were all on it, and they all went. And what was so wonderful about it is it organically happened, where each person kind of ended up in a different place in the book. And we honored it for each of us as the energy moved through this practical mysticism. And really what the class, the arch of the entire class, is about allowing our mystical selves to show up in this world, allowing that soft, sweet inner voice to have a voice in our life, to be a place of love, to dedicate ourselves to being a modern day mystic. And that modern day mystic is anything from praying every day to changing the world with big ideas and big plans, to smiling at a stranger. It's the full gamut. It's what our soul is calling for us, and how we all have our own individual unique footprint, and how we bring that footprint into the world, how we express ourselves into the world. And that dedication with the class was so clear and so powerful. Coming out the other side, you could just see how lit up their faces were from allowing themselves to really revel in that space, and then also dedicating themselves to take that out into the world, sharing that love, sharing that thankfulness, sharing this, that we all are. I mean, we are individual expressions of the divine. We are all beauty, all light, all love, all grace, all harmony, all power. Each of us, inside of us, we are all that, living this quirky human experience. And I talk about that a lot because I think it's so important to remember that we are not perfect. We are living in these human bodies as perfect divine souls, perfect divine connection, perfect divineness, and maneuvering through life in that. We hold so much. We hold the challenges, and we hold the heartbreak, and we hold the love and the grace and the beauty that is there in life, all at the same time. All at the same time. That's a big container that we hold, and the more that we allow ourselves to be the sky, and to allow the weather to move through us, to allow the emotions and the feelings and everything that's happening, the challenges and the blessings. The bypassing sometimes, which I got caught up in a little bit when I started on this spiritual journey, is just thinking, if I just think positive thoughts, if I just say affirmations, if I just look the other way, that this isn't going to hurt me. And that didn't serve me. You know, we are both the light and the dark. We are all of it. And as we allow feelings and challenging feelings to move through us, our hearts even expand more, like the quote from Rumi. And so another quote is, "Through the eyes of gratitude, everything is a miracle." And that's from Mary Davis. And thinking about that in the sense that we allow ourselves to see the miracles too. We allow ourselves to feel the challenges, and we allow ourselves to see the miracles. We allow life to be life, and to show up for life on life's terms. And so that's another thing that I got a little tripped up on when I first started on this spiritual journey, was that I felt like if I did all of these good things and I stayed the straight and narrow, that nothing bad was going to happen in my life. Isn't that how it works? Like, you do good and good happens. And well, you know, it works like that sometimes, but it doesn't work like that all the time. Like, life just happens. And the more that we move into accepting life on life terms, the more we can become present with it, the more that we can become whole. It's like the Rumi quote, "I'll meet you out in the field beyond wrongdoing and right doing." Not to attach to the outcomes, and not to attach to things having to be a certain way, to allow ourselves to flow through life and allow ourselves to see the blessings. And I think that was one thing, and asking back to practical mysticism, asking Maggie why she chose Mary Oliver, and what she said is how much love and thankfulness and gratitude she sees in nature, and the little things in nature, the changing of the colors in the trees and the rivers and the sunsets. There's so much beauty to see when we allow ourselves to be present to see it, when we allow ourselves to be present. Thankfulness brings you to a place where the beloved lives. And that's Rumi. Thankfulness brings you to the place where the beloved lives. So what are we thankful for? You know, what in our life are we thankful for? And how do we share that with others? Are we thankful for our family? Are we thankful for our health? Are we thankful for our abundance? Are we thankful for our friends? Are we thankful for our spirituality? And so I think it's a good practice to think about that when we wake up in the morning. That's something that I've incorporated into my meditation practice, and thinking about what I'm thankful for, and then going out in the day and looking for that, and looking for the good, looking for, you know, the connection with people and the blessings and the kindness happening, and allowing that to move through my life. And how can we share that with others? How can we share when we're feeling thankful, when we're feeling gratitude? How do we share that with others? And again, it can be the smallest acts of kindness. It can be a smile. It can be being present for somebody. It can be sending somebody flowers, walking your dog, playing with your cat. You know, it can be anything, but it's that place that comes from love. It's that place that comes from our soul. And then when we share that, our gratitude seems to overflow even more. When we see somebody's face and their face lights up, and we're in that energy with them, it fills our hearts up. It's that mirror of life coming back to us as we share our gratitude. We are giving the gift, and we're allowing somebody to unwrap it. And we are also receiving the gift when somebody gives us the gift, and allowing ourselves to unwrap it, and receiving that as well, receiving somebody else's thankfulness, which I think sometimes can be hard for some of us. I have gotten better. And even when I give somebody a compliment and they don't necessarily always want to take that or my thankfulness, I remind them that I am sincerely telling them how much I appreciate them. And I think sometimes in life we need to take a little bit more time to be in those moments of appreciation and gratitude, and allow ourselves to feel when somebody is shedding that light on us. So another quote, which is one of my favorites for this time of year: if the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it'll be enough. And that's Meister Eckhart. And there's a friend of mine who is a minister, and he changed the phrase of Thanksgiving and said, happy thanks living. Happy thanks living. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. That's living in a space that that allows us to give thanks. You know, a short story on myself: when I was the CEO for the Boys and Girls Club in Temecula Valley, we were growing so rapidly and helping more and more kids, and adding more clubhouses and more staff and infrastructure, and everything that we were doing was always, we wanted to do the next thing. When you work for a mission to give, you always want to give, and it never seems to be enough. And what we learned after a few years of going at that kind of pace and never taking a time out to celebrate our successes and be thankful for everything that we've done up to that point, we were running out of gas. We were running out of energy. And once we realized that we were doing that, we realized that it was time for us to start having a little more gratitude on how much we were able to accomplish in that time frame, and how many kids we were able to serve, and to take a little bit of a time out for feeling that thankfulness. And so I'm inviting each of us to do that today, to do that this week, is to take some quiet time, some reflective time, and think about where you're at in life, and those things that you're grateful for, and allow your heart to feel that. Allow your heart to be in that space. Think about the people that you love that touch your heart, and tell them, if it's a phone call or a text or a visit. In sharing that, we give back to ourselves. And this time of year, I usually like to get gift cards and give those gift cards out to people randomly as I see. It's kind of that random act of kindness. And I'll get Starbucks cards, because you can get anything from a breakfast sandwich to a coffee, or little Subway cards. And one time I was at a grocery store, and I saw a gentleman in line that was incredibly patient. The person in front was very upset, and he handled the whole thing so incredibly beautifully. And I just was wowed by him. He was patient and kind and understanding, tried to help diffuse the situation with the customer in front and the checker, and he helped. He was a blessing. He was a blessing in a situation. And afterwards, I went up to him and I said, I just want to tell you, I saw your kindness and I appreciate it, and I want to give you this little Starbucks card, and have a beautiful day. And I walked away. And so I finished my grocery shopping, and I'm walking down the aisle, and he finds me. And he comes up to me and he tells me that, he goes, you don't realize how much that meant to me. My wife and I are going through a hard time financially right now. And the fact that you shared your kindness and that you gave us this $5 gift card, I'm going to take my wife out for a coffee. And I just want to tell you, it meant so much to me. Thank you. And we never know what that, the random acts of kindness, we never know how they're going to land. We never know how they're going to touch somebody else. And then, of course, that touches me, that fills my soul up. And being that place in this world right now, being that place of kindness, it takes fierce dedication to being in our heart space and sharing that. It takes courage. It takes action. And that kind of kindness for all of us as we reach out into the world is what changes the world, is what makes the world a better place. And that's sharing our thankfulness and sharing our gratitude, but also feeding our souls. Like, it reminds me of why I'm here. It reminds me of what matters most in life, is when I can be in that place to give to others, and to be in that place of sharing my heart and sharing kindness. It fills my heart up. It makes everything else okay. And that's what this world needs right now, is our kindness and our love. And however we share it individually, however we show up individually and share that in the world. Because as we lift the energy, that's what's shifting the world right now into that loving energy. So I'd like to bring it to a close with the Metta prayer, which is a prayer of loving kindness. And the prayer is used as a mantra sometimes of loving kindness meditation. This kind of meditation is popular in the Buddhist tradition. And the word metta comes from Pali and can be translated as goodwill and loving kindness. So if you just want to Take a deep breath in. Feel into your heart space. Feel into the love. May all beings everywhere be safe and well. May all beings everywhere be happy and content. May all beings everywhere be healthy and strong. May all beings everywhere be peaceful and at ease. May I be safe and well. May I be happy and content. May I be healthy and strong. May I be peaceful and at ease. Namaste. Wear gratitude like a cloak, and it will feed every corner of your life. And that's Rumi. Knowing that you are a blessing. You are a blessing. You are a gift. You are a divine, divine being. That is all God, that it is all good, that it is grace, that it is love, that it is oneness, that it is connection. We are one. And as we share our divineness in this world, as we share our love, as we share our gift, we become that beneficial presence to this planet, and we allow Spirit to move in, through, and around us as a modern day mystic, sharing our gratitude, sharing our thankfulness, sharing our love, sharing it with the world, sharing it with ourselves, sharing it with the world, knowing that it is God, that it is grace. By the grace of God we go. It is good, it is now, it is done, it is released, and together we say, and so it is, and so it is. And I'll turn it back over to Anton and Laura.
I love you, I bless you, thank you for being in the world. I love you, I bless you, thank you for being in the world. I love you, I bless you, thank you for being in the world. I love you, I bless you, thank you for being in the world. I love you, I bless you, thank you for being in the world. I love you, I bless you, thank you for being in the world. I love you, I bless you, thank you for being in the world. I love you, I bless you, thank you for being in the world. I love you, I bless you, thank you for being in the world.
bless you. Thank you for being in the world. I love you. I bless you. Thank you for being in the world.
Thank you. Thank you for being in the world. Now is time for our giving affirmation. Graciously I give from a place of love, knowing that as I give, so do I richly receive. Different opportunities to give to Centers for Spiritual Living. We have our website, which is www.cslroguevalley.org, and you can hit the donate button. Use Facebook and hit the donate button, or mail a check to CSL RV at P.O. Box 1458, Medford, Oregon 97501. The announcements for today is we have social hour after service at 11:45 on Zoom after service today. The Zoom link is in this week's newsletter, and our wonderful practitioner, Wendy Wellborn, is going to help facilitate this social hour. So please, please join us. Another announcement is our upcoming classes. And so our wonderful Rev Kimberly, who is taking a well-deserved day off and spending time with her beautiful family, is teaching a class called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. It's a new 5-week foundational class, and it starts Monday evenings on January 31st. And that will be an amazing class, and I highly recommend, if you haven't had any type of foundational class, I recommend joining that class with Rev Kimberly. I will also be teaching a class, a 7-week class on body, mind, and spirit connection. The class is called Revealing Your Wholeness, which is another new class, which is exciting. And it'll be Wednesday evenings starting on January 26th. And the early bird rate, if you sign up online with a $50 deposit, and the classes will be at 6 o'clock to 8:30. So please check it out in the newsletter or on our website, CSL Rogue Valley, or email us cslroguevalley@gmail.com. Prayer requests can be submitted on our website, and we will definitely pray. And so I think that's it for our announcements. I'm going to turn it back over to our musicians, beautiful Anton and Laura, for a closing song.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen.
Beautiful, beautiful. May we rest in God and say amen. So one last piece that I want to leave you with, and that's as we are sharing our kindness and we are shifting the energy to this beautiful high vibration. There is a quote that's been going around on Facebook, and it says, "The world is changing and I'm on the transition team." So I believe probably everybody that's watching today and that's here is on the transition team, and I just want to say how incredibly grateful I am to be on this team with you. Namaste. I love you. Have a beautiful day.